This is Scale Her Up, the podcast for female-led businesses ready to grow to seven figures and beyond. I'm Dr. Brenda Hector, business coach, business owner, and champion for women in business. I'm on a mission to change the stats and help more women scale successfully. Each episode, we share real stories, tools, and tactics to help you build a business that supports the life you want. Follow the show and come join our Scale Her Up Facebook community. You don't have to do this on your own. So, welcome to Scale Her Up. I have Saj Sharif of Zen Consultants Limited with me today. Saj, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'll make it a nice experience. Not everybody's comfortable coming being interviewed on a podcast, so I really appreciate that you've taken the time today in what is the run up to Christmas, and it's a very busy week for a lot of people. Thank you for that. So let's start with Zen Consultants Limited.
Okay.
What is it that you do?
Basically, we're accountants. So it's an accountancy practice. We offer self-assessments for sole traders, limited companies for larger corporations, LLPs, partnerships. We do capital gains tax returns, bookkeeping, payroll, VAT returns, CIS, which is the construction industry. Yeah, and we just give guidance, help, management accounts. Yeah, support around 700 clients right now.
Fabulous. So 700 clients. You're not doing that on your own. How big's the team?
We're currently a team of 10, soon to become a team of, we're currently a team of 11, soon to become a team of 10. 12, other way.
You're growing.
Can you tell how nervous? We're growing. Yeah, so we've got one team member that's leaving, and then I'm replacing that team member with another two that start on the 5th of January. So
fabulous. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Somebody? Yeah.
Yeah, for two people, nice new start. Yeah.
And tell us, are you the founder of Zen Consultants?
I am the CEO and founder. Yeah.
Tell me about that journey then. What made you start out on your own?
Oh, so personally, I used to be a stockbroker, and because just life happens to a lot of us, and life happened, and then I couldn't do that career anymore. So I ended up with ME, and chronic fatigue syndrome. And from there, I was told by the doctors I wouldn't work in finance again. So it was then going, what am I going to do? And I was off long-term sick. And the kids, I had two kids at the time, they were so happy to have me home. And I didn't realize how much my not being there and working a 9 to 5 job or an 8 till 6 job impacted them. So when it came to me feeling better and going back to work, they were like, oh, Mummy, please don't go back to work. We love having you at home. And I thought, what can I do? So I did a qualification in interior design. So I got HND in interior design. I thought, oh, let my creative path flow and all of this. But then I realized that was going to very quickly take me away from home too. In the meantime, I was helping out my partner at the time, and he was a stonemason to trade. So we then had my youngest daughter, Sherry, so that made 3. And I was like, what am I going to do? He was like, come on, I want to have my own business. You're really good with numbers. Just you do my accounts. And I was like, oh no, I'm not working finance and all of this stuff. You can do it. So he then put me in touch with his accountant, and she said, oh, I just need you to do this and this. And I thought, oh, that's really easy. So Excel sheet did that. And then what happened was my partner passed away. So I then thought, I can't run this business by myself. So I closed that. But the sole traders, the subcontractors that we had, they kept coming back to get their self-assessments done. And that was how it grew. And I thought all of a sudden, I was like, okay. Then they were bringing their friends, and I didn't even pay any attention to it because I really wasn't charging very much at all for it, but it was so easy to do. And as I was doing that, it started growing, and I didn't realize it was growing. And by the time I finished doing my interior design course, I thought, oh, wow, I've got about 60 clients here. How's that happened? And it was just word of mouth because I'm very efficient and I'm very fast. And the clients were just over the moon with the fact that I was fast and I was always available on the other end of the phone. So my service was what was helping it grow. And then somebody needed something signed off for a mortgage. I couldn't sign it off because I have my stockbroking qualifications, but it wasn't satisfying the mortgage provider. And I thought, oh, that hit my pride. And I thought, oh, let me just go and get a qualification. How hard is it going to be? So I enrolled for college and started studying accountancy, then realized I needed to carry on and go to uni. So then I qualified whilst bringing up 3 kids and the business growing at the same time. Yeah, and then I was fostering a child as well. So it's just been full on. And then I graduated in 2013. By then, the business had grown again. And I had around, I think I had about 200 clients by then. It just spiraled. And then I was able to give it all the attention it needs. And from there, it just expanded. I got all my qualifications. And I've not looked back. In 2014, I took on my first part-time employee. And that was scary. And then from there, I've just never looked back because I just couldn't manage it all on my own. It got too much.
Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, there's so much there. Life happened. I'm really sorry to hear about all of that. Your illness and losing your partner must be really difficult. But sometimes business is what through that. Yeah.
That's where you feel alone. So when you go through stuff that's hard, and trust me, life kept happening. You go through things that are hard and you do feel very alone. Even this year, I know I speak to my friends about it, but I speak specifically to particular other female owners. And I say about how alone you feel. And other friends and my children will say, yeah, but we get it. And I thought, no, but you don't get it. Is because it's the weight of the responsibility they don't get. It's the, oh my God, I've got all these salaries to pay. I've got all these wages to pay. We've moved offices last year and it's secured against my personal premises. Do you know what I mean? It's the risks that we take as business owners. And it's like people don't understand the sacrifices that we make and the risks that we take and the responsibility we have on a daily basis.
As an accountant, there's also the responsibility for your customers as well. You're keeping them out of prison.
It's the ones that listen. They don't all listen. But yeah. So the advice and the guidance is huge. So again, that just weighs on the responsibility. Again, this year life happened and I lost my brother in a tragic car accident, my youngest brother. And the grief counsellor said, I need to sign you off for 6 weeks. You're burnt out. You need a break. And I couldn't take time off work. I was just like, I can't because I'm the CEO and I'm the founder and they'll fall apart without me. Yeah, it's hard. So I had to work through that and keep working.
Yeah.
So that's a bit that some people really genuinely don't understand when you're the only CEO and founder.
So you've not painted the best picture for anybody listening, thinking that they're going to start their business. It's really hard. It's lonely. You can't take the time off when you need it. But I know that's...
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to paint that picture.
I know you don't. That's why I've turned it round.
So the bonuses...
why would people do it?
Because the freedom.
Yeah.
The freedom that it's afforded me to be there for my kids. That, the financial gains from it, the being my own boss. Nobody's telling me what to do. Nobody's telling me how to do things. I get to be in charge. So I'm not answerable to anybody else who I disagree with on how they're doing their job or how they're asking us to do our job. I love the fact that I'm doing my job the way that I'm doing my job and I'm training everybody else to do it my way. But then I know that what I'm doing works because we've got, if you were to look at our Google reviews, we've got 5-star reviews. We are multi-award winning. I think we've got about 10 awards through in the boardroom that are just spanning over year on year. And for me, it's the pride in knowing that I can do it and I can handle it. And I think it's got a lot to do with just being very well organized. So to me, the perks genuinely are everybody that's a business owner will know the perks that come. So as much as you make the sacrifices, you benefit. So nobody holds me accountable to holiday time. So I can take a month off on holiday as long as I leave everything aligned here. I'm always still contactable, but I can do that. and I can say I'm going to go and travel, which I'm actually doing in February next year. So I'm going, I didn't have time off for that, but I'm taking time off for this.
Oh, fabulous.
So
Yeah.
I'm off to Colombia in February for a month.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah,
So
jealous.
yeah,
Even the Scottish
so,
winter to, yeah,
yeah.
amazing.
So yeah, I think it's also inspiring other people. I love the fact that I've created jobs for people. As much as it's a big responsibility, I think if you manage everything well, there's no reason why you can't do it and scale up.
So what are your tips then for managing things? How do you make sure that everything happens?
Good structure.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure that everybody knows transparency. So we all work in a very open planned office. So I'm not locked away in a room by myself. So they always have an idea. We have regular team outings, team bonding. We're off tomorrow to Preston Field for our staff Christmas night out. Tax year end will be the 31st of January. We'll go out for dinner then as well. Just do different events. So structure is really important. Reward is really important for the team when they do good, just making sure that they know good bonuses and things like that. Budgeting is the biggest thing for finances. So making sure that you're budgeting. So every time I've got a monthly standing order set up from my main business bank account to take out enough of the money to cover taxes, the VAT bills and the corporation tax bills. So as long as you're budgeting and keeping an eye on everything, then there's no reason why you wouldn't succeed.
I love that. So I've just written down your top 5: structure, transparency, team bonding, reward, and budgeting.
Yeah, that's it really. So I think, and as long as you've got that and that the openness is transparency, it's like just everybody knows everybody. But I get very involved, not like personally involved, but I'm very aware of what's going on in everybody's lives. I encourage the conversation. I encourage the open communication. And then they know that they can approach me. And when somebody comes and has a difficult conversation with me, I will always say, well done. And thank you for trusting me with this. And thank you for having the courage to come forward and speak to me about this. So being approachable. Yeah.
So, like you said earlier, when you were talking about yourself, life happens. Though that also happens to your team and to your staff.
Of
Coming out,
course.
they might spend a lot of time in the office, but there's what's going on outside the office that has a big impact on them. So, yeah,
Yeah.
being able to be there for that part of them as well as in work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think because I share, so if something's going on for me, I'll share. It's then created this environment where they automatically share. There's a team member that's recently just started dating and like he's just sharing his stories and we're all having an input on it and laughing. And so it's really nice. So nobody feels like they can't be open about anything or share anything. And I think we all know that we trust each other, which is why when you select new team members, you've got to look at the dynamic and say, are they going to fit in well? And are they going to enhance the team dynamics?
So tell me about the two new people that are coming on board then. So you've had to be very careful choosing them, that they've got the skills that you need and that they'll fit with everyone else.
Yes. So when you're doing the interviews, you do different tests. So you do a skills test, you ask skills questions, you ask why they're interested in the job, but then you can do little kind of like personality test questions, which are blended in amongst the questions. So you can start picking up on what their personalities are like. And I always make sure that the interview, I give it a good hour or 45 minutes, or if they're nonsense, they're gone within 10 minutes, trust me. But if there's somebody else, I will work through all my questions and then I will just instinctively or intuitively ask other questions if I feel like it needs to go off in a different tangent. So yeah, it's making sure because then it's highlighting that we have a very close working relationship here and a very close team. So if you're coming into the team, you need to be a team player and you can't, yeah, it's like you can't be mega sensitive and we would want you to be part of the banter too. So you need to be able to come with your banter. You'll never be judged, but just bring that openness.
And that's a conscious culture that you've built within your organization.
Yes. Yeah. So we used to regularly meditate in the morning. I would come in and I would say, especially around this time of the year when it's so stressful, and I would say, right, phone's down. I'll take the phone calls if they ding, but I'm taking you through a 10-minute meditation. And then I would just have them all relaxing and meditating, and then they'd come out of it. And it helps them because it helped them ground. I've had an apprentice start straight from school, and he's still here 6 years later, working on his qualifications. The confidence I see grow in him, unbelievable, amazing. I've got another person here that came from uni, so nervous, so anxious, so shy, wouldn't speak, wouldn't say boo to a ghost. And now these two members are going to go and represent Zen at Edinburgh Castle in February because I'm going to be in Colombia. So I was like, I'd like you two to go, please. And normally I would get I'm not going, I'm not doing it. I was like, no, right, yeah, okay, we'll go. And they're saying, and how about we take the two new members of staff with us? And I was like, excellent idea. So say the inclusivity is already there because I didn't even suggest that. They went, oh, can we take other colleagues? And then it's just, what if we take the two new stars? And then that way they get introduced to the partner that we work with and they'll get to enjoy the meal at Edinburgh Castle too. So I was like, okay. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. You touched on the meditation, and I was going to ask about the name for the business because
Okay.
accountancy doesn't come across as very zen a lot of the time. So yeah, talk me through that decision.
Zen comes from my martial arts background. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm very passionate about martial arts, and I used to do karate, and I won the Scottish Karate Championships back in the day. So the name Zen and the yin and yang sign that I had originally, that was coming from the balance of life, because life can be hard, life can also be really good. So it was like a yin and yang sign that I had, but then it just developed into the Z. It was off the thing. The Zen Consultants wasn't supposed to be an accountancy practice. It was supposed to be the interior design company.
Ah, okay.
So then, but then because the company name was there and I was taking payments for the guys, it just stayed and it stuck. And it is a very Zen place. The clients, that's the first thing they talk about is the minute they walk in, how relaxed they feel, because I still do bring in all the Zen. We burn incense, we play music. It's the colors are deliberately chosen. So these colors are deliberately chosen to help people feel instantly relaxed. We wear branded hoodies. We don't wear uniforms like shirt and tie uniforms. So we've got a very chill vibe. The place is covered like in plants, as you can see. So when clients walk in, the first thing they do is breathe a sigh of relief. Yeah, they go, ah. And they know that we'll speak to them in simple terms and will not bamboozle them with jargon.
And does that attract a certain type of client, or are you trying to attract a niche or?
No, I'm just doing me.
Yeah.
I'm just doing me, and it just attracts all sorts. So we have a vast range of clients. We have from surgeons, GPs, financial advisors, mortgage brokers, right down to dancers. Yeah. And everything in between, cleaners, construction, models, writers, everything in between.
So if you're anything like me, that's what makes the job more interesting, when it's really diverse, and I get really excited when it's a new customer in a new industry that I've not worked with before, because I get to learn all about something new.
Absolutely. And this is what they love. The team love it as well because they never know what they're getting. So you can't organize yourself per se to say, I'm going to come into work today and I'm going to do this and this, because you can set that intention. But when you walk in, you don't know who's going to call or what's going to happen. And then you're like away off. And where the team are getting so much experience is that they're working so many different sectors that they're getting this broad range of experience in all sectors. And I love that too.
Good. So I want to ask you about being a woman in business, being a woman in a male-dominated business, being an ethnic minority woman in a male-dominated business. What are there extra challenges that you've faced that standard white male wouldn't have seen?
Yeah. Yep. I have clients that'll come in and they'll say, oh, I thought you were going to be a man. And then you don't win them. I'm like, oh, okay. And they'll just say it. Oh, I thought you were going to be a man. All right. No, me. So you still get that, very much get that. Sometimes people will email me. So I know that I did a client meet not so long ago, and they'll say, "Oh, I thought you were going to be a man. No, I've decided I'm not going to work with you guys." And then actually it happened even in an interview. I was interviewing somebody, and when he walked in, he thought I was going to be a man. And then when we rejected him, he said, "Oh, I decided the minute I left, I was never going to take this job anyway." And I thought, why would you even respond like that to a potential employer? But I could tell, because I could tell when I was doing the interview questions, I could tell he was so offended that I wasn't a man. But yeah, it's still there. It's still out there. That's often,
awful, isn't it?
yeah, it is. But I don't care. I genuinely don't care if I've bucked the norm in everything I've done all my life. So no different here. Yeah. So I think it is, it can be, it brings its own challenges, but you know what? They're minute compared to the huge amount of clients that we do have, and all the clients that we do have that completely appreciate me and the team and the business. And we're blessed, like the Christmas presents that are flying in, and the boxes of chocolates that are flying in, and the hampers. And, we're so blessed. We have such amazing clients. So I think when you have a very grounded nature and a very open, transparent, and honest nature, I think you just do attract all those very similar clients back. So my clients I had when I started in 2006 are still with me. So apart from the ones that have sadly passed away or are no longer working, I still got those core clients that I started with. They're still on our books. And next year we're going to be 20 years old.
Congratulations. That's amazing to get 20 years.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I'm just thinking about those, oh, I thought you'd be a man and all that sort of
Mm.
comments. Does that give you more fire in your belly to make it work and to prove that you can do it? Or
Interesting question. Maybe in the past it would have. Maybe in the past it would have, but not now. Definitely not now.
So you don't need to prove to anybody now. You have scaled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've got zero to prove to anyone now. I don't. So no, now it's just okay. See you later. And it's just water off the duck's back now. Whereas I think before when I first started and I didn't have as much confidence and I hadn't started my scale up and it was just me, I did take things very personally. So yeah, it was hard.
Talk to me about scaling then. When you started off and it was a side hustle effectively, and you've built it up, you took your first part-time employee, and then talk to me about the trajectory and the bumps in the road. So if somebody's coming along now going, I'm scaling now, what do they need to be aware of, or what would your tips be?
My tips would be make sure you do personality tests with them so that you're not going to clash, because you could be saying one thing and they could be insistent on another. And then all of a sudden, you're not having a very good experience with your very first employee. Luckily, I didn't have that issue, but personality test questions really help because you've got to understand who you are. So before you employ anybody, first of all, you've got to understand who you are as a person, who you are going to be as a boss, as a person. Are you going to be strong enough to make the decisions? And if you disagree with something your employee is saying, are you going to have the gumption and the ability to stand there and go, no, I disagree. I need you to do it this way. And then you've got to have the gift to just be able to let it go and not hold a grudge so that you can continue maintaining that beautiful kind of relationship with your team member. But just always remember that you are the boss and what you say goes. So I think having that and making sure that you've got that in place. Also, then just the bumps in the road would be the training and the mistakes. There's, I don't think there's anyone here that we've not lost a client because of, but not to hold that against them, because sometimes it can just be the way something's happened or the way something's been told or a mistake has happened. Everybody makes mistakes. That's how we learn. So it's just going, okay, it's all right. But no matter what happens, you have your team's back.
That's a really good thing to be aware of. Like team members will do things that could mean that you lose clients, but I guess they learn from that, don't they? If they
Yes,
don't learn from
absolutely.
that, then
Yeah.
you'd be worried.
No,
Yeah.
it's 100%. It's a huge
Yeah.
learning curve. And trust me, they feel mega bad. And so then it's your job to then not get too caught up on you got to go, okay, can we put it down to a learning curve? Let's just make sure this doesn't happen again. But you understand. And then you've got to be the person that steps in. Because at the end of the day, the buck lands at my feet. So it's going to be me that's going to apologize to the client and say, look, I'm so sorry that this happened. I totally understand your reaction. And I understand that, that you've made this decision. Our door will always be open for you if should you ever change your mind, or we can just change the person that you're dealing with and make sure you don't deal with that person again. It's negotiating skills, isn't it? It's the negotiating skills that you've got to have. But at the same time, none of us are perfect. I've made mistakes in the past. Do you know what I mean? And as long as you learn from them, that's the most important thing. And then they're beating themselves up and I'm going, but have you learned? You're not going to do it again, are you? No, absolutely not. And that's it. So it could just be maybe they never responded to a client when they were supposed to, or they said they would and they never, or they've made a mistake and the clients went, oh, and just took real offense. Because you got to look at it as well. The client is also running a business. So the client is also stressed.
Yeah.
So you just got to look at it that way. I think putting yourself in other people's shoes is the most important part.
That's a good learning. Yes. Yeah. Put yourself, and so people can respond unexpectedly. They could blow up when it's something not particularly big, but you don't know what else is going
What's
on.
going on in their
Yeah.
life?
Yeah. Life
Correct.
happens. That seems to be a
Yeah.
recurring message in this conversation. Yeah.
Yep. Because you don't know what's going on for them. And then if you sit down and have a conversation, then sometimes they'll open up and they'll say, oh, this is going on or that's going on. You go, okay, I'm so sorry. I've got a client that I manage and she'll only speak to me. And we will go and I will have private conversations in the boardroom with her because she feels most comfortable speaking to me and she will just lay everything out on the table and say, I've got this issue going on personally and I've got that issue going on personally and I've got this neurodiversity thing going on and this going on and I'm trying to manage the business. And usually they just burst into tears because when you say, it's okay, I understand, so let me help you. All we need to do is this and this, do it with them. And they go, nobody's ever done that for me before.
Takes the weight off for them. Yeah.
Nobody's ever sat and done that with me before. And that's all it is. It's compassion.
Yeah. So you're there supporting your clients. Who's supported you over the years? Well, just don't laugh about it. That's what helps. Yeah.
No, when I lost my brother, it was grief therapy. So yeah, 100%. I wasn't managing. To be fair, I think I see on the other side of things, I've got a very big spiritual side of me where I'm a qualified life coach, qualified hypnotherapist. I have some counseling, sound bath healing, and I've just qualified as a shamanic practitioner. So when I'm doing all this work and I'm doing all these extra qualifications, it makes you look at yourself and it makes you look at whatever's going on for you. And it's a space where you can then share what's going on for you in this like class environment or group environment. And you do what we call shadow work. And then that's healing at the same time and releasing.
So I'm fascinated on this then. Is this just for your own, is this a hobby or is this another business that you've got there?
It's my passion project. I call it my passion project, wanting to help people. And I've set it up and it's called Zen Community. It's a little bit of a following on social. And but I do see a lot of clients and I do help them through coaching but it's personal coaching, not business coaching. I'm just helping them overcome trauma and maybe things that have happened in their lives that they can't get over or release, and just helps them release. And then a lot of the times when I'm coaching a client, it just reminds me to remember to release anything that I'm holding on to still. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely, actually. I would think because as business owners and women with a pile of expectations and responsibilities, yeah, you don't need to hold it all and carry it all the time.
No, it's about being able to put it down and knowing when to put it down. Yeah. I mean, my shamanic practice took me out on a vision quest where I sat like 19 hours out in nature, just connected with nature in the woods somewhere over the bridge. But it was the best feeling. I let so much go that day. And I came back going, this is the feeling. This is the grounded, I am strong feeling. So it's tapping into that. So I have my own practice and I have my own little things that I do each day. Like I'll ground each day, each morning in the garden and speak to the universe and the elements. And yeah, so I have my own practice. So that I think helps me. And yeah, my friends. I have amazing friends and my kids.
Yeah, surround yourself with good people.
Yes. Oh, I'm definitely blessed that way. Definitely blessed that way. Yeah.
So, what would be your advice to any of the listeners that are thinking of starting their own business or growing something that they've already got?
Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Just do it. Reach out. If there are, when you contacted me, that was the first time I'd heard about the Scale Her Up podcast. And I was like, oh, wow. So there is a place. I'm always thinking that I'm going to start a group where there's support for directors that are like solo directors that need that support. So yeah, look for your local support networks. I saw something pop up on socials lately that said that female entrepreneurs and female directors, there's like a networking event or there's networking out there somewhere. So there are all these places where you can go and meet like-minded people and speak to them about any issues that you come across. Join networking events. So I joined Edinburgh Chambers of Commerce, and through them, I have access to something called Quest, which gives me access to lawyers, experienced and even more qualified accountants, a couple of other things as well. I think there's 4 things that were entitled HR and something else. So yeah, is join something like that so that when you're not sure, you've got access to pick up a phone or drop an email to say, so this is what I'm going to do. This is where I'd like to go, or this is the route I want to take. Can I have some advice and guidance on this? So yeah, so never hesitate to ask.
I'm just reflecting on doing that and reaching out to networks. People go networking usually because they want to find clients.
Oh, no,
But
I've never done that.
one of the most valuable things that come from networks is advice and people that are connected with someone that can help you with something that's not referring you customers, but referring you people that, outside support. That's, marketing,
It,
accountants, solicitors.
it's
Yeah.
absolutely, Brenda. It's about who you know. It's not
Mhm.
about what you know. It's always about who you know. So
Yeah.
our clients have always come word of mouth. So I've never networked or joined a networking place because I am looking for growth. I've joined because I want to be with like-minded people, and I think about what support can I receive if I run and hit a wall with
Yeah.
anything. And that's what it is. Yep, I've used their HR services. I've used their accountant's advice service multiple times because we're always getting new complex things that come in. And if we've not got the experience in it, then obviously we need to have someone to go to as well. So we go there. I think, yeah, Edinburgh Chambers of Commerce for us have been amazing. As a result, like we won a couple of awards with them and then they invited me to become a council member. So I'm now an Edinburgh Chambers of Commerce council member too. Yeah, it's good.
So you've mentioned the awards a couple of times, actually. How impactful has it been for you winning awards? Because some people go, "Oh, that's just Some people just don't get it." But
For me personally, and this is just personally my opinion on it, for me, it was huge validation.
yeah,
That's how I felt about it. And I don't know, it did something to me in the sense that it just, like my confidence grew even more because I felt validated and then I felt recognized. So for me, they mean a lot to me. That's how it feels for me. It was almost like, not, and I don't think anybody should ever put the weight of the validation on winning an award because not everybody's going to win the award. So there's always got to be some people that don't. But personally, for me, winning the award was the validation. Even just being a runner up was
yeah.
validation that I was good enough. Yeah. And that I was doing something, because sometimes we work so hard, you don't even realize the impact you're having. So Zen Consultants, we go to the schools, we speak to the children about budgeting, we speak to the children about financial planning. We work closely with the local high school here. I sit on the board with the Scottish Apprenticeship Advisory Board as well. So we're always looking at how we're going to improve the apprenticeship system. I'm also a member of the Wraith Commission. So the input that I have, you don't always realize how much input you're having until you start seeing it on paper. And then you go, actually, I do a lot more than just being the CEO and founder of Zen. There's a lot more to me.
And the awards, are they important to your team and to your customers?
Very much. So I think, yeah, the team, again, it's for them, it's like validation as well. And they enjoy it because they enjoy going out for the meal and the dinner, and they're all sitting there with bated breath. And then when we won, like, they went up on the stage with me. So yeah, it was really nice. And then I think when clients come in and we have the meetings in the boardroom, and we've just got them all up on this wall when they're backlit and everything, and they'll go, wow, look at all the awards. I think it does something for them too. It's like reassurance that we're doing something good, because you don't just win these for nothing. So I think that makes a difference. And also seeing our Google reviews, I think they see them and they say, wow, that's really cool.
So I've got one last question for you, Saj.
That's okay.
If you could go back and meet your 18-year-old self,
Oh,
what advice would you give her?
say your course is going to work out.
Now that comes up a lot. Yes. But maybe on the journey, it's not going to feel that comfortable, but the end destination's coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Stay your course. It's going to work out. Yeah.
Which works for not just for 18-year-old Saj, but for anyone.
Every age,
Yeah.
even at 25, even at 30,
Yeah.
even when you're ready going, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? So you have these moments where you question it. But if you were to ask me, would I change anything? The answer would be absolutely not. Even when life happened,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't change anything. And if any females out there thinking, I want to do this, the biggest gain I had, I got to be at home with my children, because I worked from home and I started all this from home. I got to be at home with my children. They've seen how hard I work. Two of my children, out of three of my children, are now setting up, or one has already set up his own business and is absolutely flying high. And the youngest has just come out of university and is already talking about setting up their own business too. So the inspiration and the knock-on effect that has is, and they see it and they're going, okay, so yeah, it's been hard sometimes, but I'll tell you, the good times do outweigh the bad times. Although the bad times feel heavy on your shoulders because responsibility is huge. Coming in here and the banter that you can have. And when the team see that you're they'll do silly things to make you laugh, and they'll cheer you up, and they'll go out for lunch and go, oh, look, Cher, I got you something. That'll cheer you up. So it's the compassion that you receive from them too. It's nice. And then it's being amongst these people, and we share if one client's unhappy or somebody else has got something going on. We rally. And that's what's nice. We genuinely are like, I know people always say, never say that your staff or your family, but it is like a little family. As much as you're not supposed to say that, because we all care about each other.
It sounds like you've built an amazing organization there and a lovely culture. And I think your two new employees that are starting in the new year are very lucky to be there.
Oh, thank you, Brenda. Thank you.
So,
They come in, and when they walk in, they go, I want to work here. I want to work with you. I want to work here.
Brilliant. I
Cute.
think it's great. Saj, thank you so much for your time today. I could talk to you all day.
Oh,
Very
thank
much
you.
for sharing your story. And
You're very welcome.
where's my, oh, here we go. Thank you to you for listening to Scale Her Up. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show and leave a review. It helps more female business owners to find us. Come and join our Scale Her Up Facebook community to get support, accountability, and connection with women who get it. And remember, only 1 in 3 UK entrepreneurs are female, and men are still 5 times more likely to scale their business beyond £1 million in turnover than women. When we start and scale our businesses to the same extent as men, we'll add 250 billion to the UK economy and create millions of jobs. Ladies, you can do it, and your business can make a massive difference.